behind
Okay, so it looks like we're live. Okay, we are live now on Behind the Buffer. Unfortunately, it looks like Benny from Benny's Bubbles couldn't make it. Didn't really hear anything back from him. He told me, yeah, I'll be there, bro. And then, doesn't show up. So today, it's just going to be me and Arthur talking. We had an interesting day today. What did we do today, Arthur?
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to show you today our equipment. Well, my equipment. We're gonna see how is my setup on my van, and of course, we take some tips from other people. But this is pretty much what I made on my van. Everything, it's organized. I try to make it simple, but at the same time, looks nice and presentable for the customer. So
Okay,
I guess, I don't know, you want to...
Yeah, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to be moving the camera now.
All right.
We're going to be taking a look. All right, so episode 4, Behind the Buffer. Okay, so this is exactly what a detailing setup should look like. And why don't you go ahead, take it from here, Arthur, and explain what we're actually looking at here.
Okay, so as you see, it's a little dirty, towels and everything, but that's for a day of work. I did about 5 cars today. Everything is some places still. That's what I like and I love about my van, because it makes it really, really faster. As you can see right here, I have my gloves. The chemicals that I use most of the time, these are out here. I don't think I had to explain all of them.
You just should. Just go through them. What is it that you use?
All right. So on my daily basic day, of course, we need our buckets right here. A cone, important. I put it on the sidewalk so people, when they're walking, they can see it. All right. As you can see, I have my buckets. I have the chemicals that I use to clean, my brushes, my mitts, and I love this one when I need to go high on the vehicles. Of course, I have my...
That's more for like semis and things like that. Big.
It's not even for the semis. It's for trucks, SUVs that are a little bit higher, so I don't need to be going on the step ladder all the time and going by hand. I had to do it whenever the car is a little more dirty, of course. Okay. But, it's very handy for me. As you can see, pressure washer is right here. My hose, air compressor hose, and my vacuum reel, which I love. It's one of those things that, that's me. I don't know everybody else, or everybody does their business their own way. But this one comes too handy for me, because you just get the hose out, you just roll it back in, and that's it.
Saves time.
So, this is my generator. Usually, like right now, these days, people, if you ask them, hey, can I use your power? They'll let you. I have, in the other side of the van, I have my 100-foot power cord. So that way I can plug into the outlet from the clients, and they'll let you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find easier just to use my generator, because it's just like quicker. I don't have to go inside and get it out. But if I need to, like when I need to do a detail, like you need to do let's say a shampooing or steam cleaning, then you need to get it out, and then you just plug it in, and then you just...
Yeah, because the generator can't handle everything. Sometimes it'll trip it.
Especially when it is too hot.
Yeah.
When it is too hot, that's when I normally use more customers.
Yeah. Not like right now, where
not like right now.
California, it's April, late April, and it's like what, 56 degrees.
Yeah, but you know what? It's interesting. Tomorrow is gonna get hot.
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna be nice and sun.
Last week on the episode, wow, man, I was dying in this garage. Yeah. It was horrible. So
and now it's this whole week has been cloudy. It's like this. Well, this is a great time to work, actually.
Yeah.
For being mobile, this is great. Well, on the other side, I don't know if you want to move the camera, but
we can. But go ahead and go over your chemicals, because chemicals are a big thing.
Well,
a lot of guys, they don't know where to start, what kind of brands to get, and that's what we're here to do, is to show guys, hey, these are the brands we use as a professional, because you got a lot of guys out there utilizing regular Walmart stuff all the time.
Yeah, I seen some crazy people that they're using like dish soap to wash cars, which is like I said, everybody run their own business on their own way. So, but normally You and I,
Yeah.
you know, one guy, Awapura, right here on California Street, right
Yeah.
here on Riverside. You can Google it. He's the one that sells me most of the, or sell us most of our products that we use.
Yes.
Honestly, I bought the soap from him. Here's I use tire dressing.
This is the best.
Viper dressing.
This is stuff that I used to, and I started out with this. I believe I got you onto this stuff.
I used
pretty
to,
sure.
you know what? I think so because I used to get another brand which is
Yep.
a little more expensive than this, and this does exactly the same thing.
Yep.
It still is not too cheap,
Oh no.
but it's a good quality of dressing, and people likes it. Personally, I do not add too much on the tires because sometimes it goes on the paint,
Mhm.
but that's up to the client. That you're gonna
Yeah.
have to deal with that with the customer directly because some of them like it, some of them don't.
Some
So-
people want that matte finish. Some people want the super gloss,
Yeah.
and it is something where you can dilute it to achieve that as well.
Yes.
So
yes.
biggest thing about professional products is being able to dilute the product itself.
Yep.
Unlike when you go buy products from Walmart, it's already pre-diluted and ready to go, except that it's pretty much based off of, you know, personal preference, which most of the time is that hyper gloss.
Yeah.
So this gives you an option. Next one.
Well,
What's the next
now
one that you
we
use?
see. Okay, this one I really like it a lot.
Me too.
This one it makes the car, it beats the water pretty much,
Mhm.
and it makes it easier for me. Like I have regular clients. Well, the name is Defender from PNS. I went through a lot of product. I also like the other one, the orange. Do you remember the name?
Are you talking about Bead Maker?
The Bead Maker.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that one too. One of my secrets, not a secret, everybody knows. But if you spray Bead Maker on the windshield, clay it, it creates a nice looking windshield, like
Like
clear.
really clear. Yeah.
really
It's
clear.
true.
But you need to do it when it is wet. Don't let it dry because if you let it dry, it's gonna take a while for you to clean it again. So
Yes.
you gotta know
Yes.
what you're doing. What else? Well, this is a prep.
Service prep. That's more for
Coatings, or even though if you want to add like the wax to add it more into the paint or anything, you can do that. This is Express Cleaner. I like this one as well. It doesn't smell too bad. It smells really nice and it cleans really good. If I want to use something a little bit stronger, it'll be this one right here, which
what is
I
this one?
forget the name of it. It's a small bottle and I don't have the label on it, but this one again, I get it from Miguel at Awapura. I gotta get a picture and name next time. But this one you dilute it. This one is great because actually I use it a lot when I had to clean the wheel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it comes.
Is it like almost like Carpet Bomber?
Kind
The
of.
PMS? Is
Yeah,
it but a little bit
kind of.
stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, but
yeah.
this one I use it for the interiors. Like
Okay.
even though if you have, let's say you have a client that, of course, on the seat when you're sitting, you're eating, and then you touch the seat by mistake, and then you make those marks
Yeah. Yeah.
like greasy
Mhm.
and things like that.
That'll take it right off.
You just spray on the towel, clean it, and it takes it right off. And clients love those little things, attention
Yes.
to detail,
Well, detailers.
Exactly.
Come on.
and that's what they like. I use this one as well, which is
What is
ultra
this?
clean, and this is for the leather and vinyl
Oh,
protect.
okay. All right. All right.
Honestly, I use it very little, but it comes very handy because it gives that nice look into the leather, but not too greasy.
Okay.
And of course, depending on how much you add, but even though if you put a little extra on it, it gives a nice finish, like simple, nothing crazy, not too shiny, not too greasy, which is great. I like
Yeah.
it. This one is from my wires. Actually, this one is cleaner and shine.
Oh, for
But-
the interior.
Yes,
Okay.
for the interior. Especially I use it when, let's say I do some work trucks for a client and everything is plastic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they use, sometimes it gets, of course, they work on the desert. It gets a lot of
Of
dust
dirt,
and
yeah, and-
dirt
yeah.
in it. So I normally use this for those type of trucks. Like
And
work
does the dirt
trucks.
stick to that stuff or no?
No,
No.
That's
See,
what I like
that's
about
what I mean.
this.
Versus this stuff, I mean, you supposedly can use this inter, extra, everything,
But a truck,
but it does. It attracts dust.
Yep.
So,
This one, I like it. It's
What
just
is it?
water.
just water.
You know why?
Why?
For the mirror, I mean, personally, I don't use anything that is, especially these days.
Okay.
We have window tints, the films, and everything, and sometimes it's really hard to know what exactly we have on those.
So you use it
products.
on the glass
I
when
use
it's tinted?
everything on the glass on the interior.
Me, I do steam cleaning. I prefer to steam clean it all.
Right.
Yeah.
But to
Yeah.
me, this one comes handy because, I mean, of course, if you're doing a detail,
Yeah,
you plug it in the steam and then boom,
yeah.
you just do it.
exactly.
But to me, this is great because
Best way.
it's so simple and it
Okay.
make it looks really nice. You know.
Yeah.
My personal thing, 2 towels.
Oh yeah, the 2 towel method. Yeah, one to wipe and then the one secondary wipe. Always a clean towel. That's the best way to get
Always
your
clean
windows clean.
towels. So
Yeah.
I normally use first one. I
Waffle
wet it.
towel.
Actually, I wet either the towel or the mirror. I wet it, I clean it, and then I give it a second pass with this. That's
The best way to do
that's
it.
the best way for me to do it.
Now, what we got here, right here? I know what we got here, but they probably don't.
Well, this is the clay mat,
Clay mitts, nanoskin.
nanoskin. So this one, of course, when you do a clay bar, guess what? This is gonna do the job, same as the clay bar. Sometimes
Except
you need,
you don't have to mount like
Yeah.
keep on and traditional clay. Normally, you twist it and play with it's clay. With this, on the other hand,
if it fails,
Yeah.
the clay,
that's it.
that's it.
But with that, it doesn't matter. If it falls on the ground, you spray it.
But
you
as
can
a
keep going.
detailer, you need to be prepared. Sometimes you need
Yeah.
to carry the bar as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You need to because there are some specific locations that you need it, and you
Yep.
need the soft, the medium, or the hard. I
Yeah.
carry all of them
It's true.
because it comes
true.
handy when you're doing a job. You don't want to be going, oh, you know what? Tell the client, oh, I'll be right back. I need to go get something. It's
Yeah,
waste of
coming
time.
prepared.
Yeah, you have to be ready.
So other than that, I mean, we have a little IQ sprayer right here, and this
Yes,
is more
sir.
for what your
For the
degreaser?
wheels.
Yeah,
For
for
the
the
wheels.
degreaser. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's foam.
And then as far as coatings, what type of coatings do you prefer to use?
There are many on the market, and that I will leave that to the client. Of course, you have to explain the customer and teach them which one could be or work better for them. There
The
are many on the
differences,
market.
yeah.
So, I mean, as you tell me, the MT
MT505, which is what we use, what I
Yeah.
prefer to use. It's a nanopolymer. It's technically not a ceramic coating. I kind of straying away from ceramics now versus
You are.
this.
Okay.
Because this stuff can be used on everything from your leather interior to your plastics, to even your electronic screens. You can use it on glass. You can use it on plastics.
Plastic. I love the way it comes. on plastic.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
my Tesla X, the plastic still looks brand new.
Yep.
Has been quite a long time already.
And that's one of the one of those things that we need to protect the most.
Yeah.
Because that's like on the environment.
Makes everything look. If your plastics look horrible,
The car
looks horrible.
The whole car.
Your
Yeah.
car, your tires could be shiny, your rims could be clean, but if your plastics are,
Yep.
oh,
I used
No
to
good.
have. Well, I used because some clients wants me to like
you
these
know what
little.
this is the PNS stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
PNS. I just
Yeah.
carry in this little bottle because I don't want to be carrying the whole
Oh yeah, the
thing.
huge thing. Yeah.
Because you know
Yeah.
when it is hot and cold.
Yeah.
But this one I use it and it's PNS bumper. I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
So
Bumper renew.
I like to use it, but sometimes the more you wash the car, it goes off.
Yeah, it's true. It's
And
true.
Of course, the empty. That's
And
not,
that stuff doesn't really work as well when it's cold out. Doesn't
yeah,
like to
it doesn't
penetrate
not-
at
it
all.
doesn't penetrate.
At
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
So, I mean, other than that, like, are there any specific brands of ceramics that you like that you prefer? I mean, over others?
No, it really, like I said, well, I like to use one. Probably you heard about them,
Mhm.
like is System X.
Yeah, System X, of course.
Again, it really depends on the client. I like to use that one because it's easy to apply. But now, in these days, it's any coating is easy to apply, and as long as you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
of course. But I like that one. But I use as well the PNS.
Okay.
I forgot the name. I forgot the name, but it's
I
from
actually, yeah, PNS makes one. There's a lot of different ones. Gion, you've got
Gion,
Nanoskin that makes their own G5.
Adams.
I used to be a really big fan of Adams. I mean, I still am. I just, like I said, I don't really do very many ceramic coatings anymore just because I
Right.
use MT505 a lot here in the shop. So,
But everything comes
know.
at the end. Everything comes to the clients. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? You can charge, just to say a number, $700, $800, $1,000 to do
Mm-hmm.
and prepare the paint, and then you can tell the client, hey, you know what? You can choose the coating that you want to do.
and I actually have some, so I can show you guys exactly what we're talking about. Because when it
Mhm.
comes down to coatings, you know, a lot of people think there's spray coatings, of course. There's ones that come in little bottles. Spray coatings are they only last a very, very limited amount of
Say
time.
like a sealant.
So I'll actually be right back. And actually, I'm going to turn this camera toward us for
Oh, still recording.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got the laptop recording all the time. Okay. So we have.
While you do
Cerakote,
that, I'll bring this
one,
back.
this one. So we basically have three different coatings right here. One of my most favorite, like I said, is Master's Touch, and this is actually a product. Like I said, I absolutely love it. I don't use anything else now as much, but the MT505. This is sold by a global distributor over here in Riverside called Matisse Films. Absolutely love the product. Comes in a little bottle like this. Next one we have, this one was another favorite of mine. This is a graphene coating, and this is by Nanoskin. It's the G5. Extremely easy to use. Not too hard. I mean, there are some coatings out there that are extremely hard to use.
Yep.
Now the next one, this one I actually, and I'm gonna be honest, Cerakote sent me this. Like I went to SEMA last year, and they just decided out of nowhere. I showed back up after SEMA, and there's a whole box sitting in here that got shipped out to me. And this one I enjoyed. I enjoyed coating it.
Really?
They gave me 3 bottles of this stuff.
Nice.
I still haven't really written back to them or called them or anything, and I'm so sorry for that, guys. But it was actually a really enjoyable process. All their materials that they sent with it were extremely informative, and it went on pretty easily. And it does this thing that's called sweating. So after it sits for a little while, you start to see all these little, almost like water, will look like water drops all over the paint. And you're supposed to basically let that happen until that starts to dissipate, and then you, I guess, take it off. From what I read in the instructions, but overall, if I rate all these products, MT505 is my most favorite. Cerakote would have to be my second, and then G5 would have to be my third. Like I said, we don't really use very much atoms anymore, and that's just because
you're not into it anymore. You're more on the films and everything, which is
we do PPF here, we do tint. I mean, we can get into that a little later, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put these down real quick. So, and I'm actually gonna put them over right here. So,
okay, so we're going in out.
Yep. You can keep it going. All right, so now we'll go on to the side. You want to show them the inside of on the side here?
Well, just on the side right here, I don't know if you see it on the camera, but I have my brushes. Of course, everything is on position, like everything is where it's supposed to be when you use it. When you need it, you just come, grab it, use it.
That's it.
When you finish, you just put it back. These are my basic chemicals, like every day on the go. Other than that,
and then you got these little tools right here. What do you use these for a lot of
you
the
have to
time?
be careful with this, you know.
Oh yes, I know that. What do you use them for? Explain it.
You know, have you ever run into places that are very hard to get in?
Yeah.
So this is where it comes really handy.
Okay.
Of course, you put it on the towel.
Yeah.
You clean it. Sometimes what I normally do is spray a little bit of my chemical, whatever I want to use, and then I
use
blow
air
it with the,
air gun.
With the air gun. If it doesn't work, then that's the
last ditch effort.
That's like the last one.
Okay.
Because you got to be very careful. Like this one is
scratch
for more
the
dental things, right?
Yeah.
I'm aiming for the dental.
Yeah, I mean, dental cleaners are the best way to go because they're meant to get into really, really small crevices. So AKA your teeth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it comes very handy, but of course, at the same time, you have to be careful with what you're doing, because you think about all these new vehicles, like you're talking about, I don't know, GLS and Mercedes, it's all glass right now. So it's really hard. Of course, you don't get to use this on it.
Yeah.
It's because it's dangerous. And one little scratch is the
now they're going to lose their minds. And it's true. And and then it's going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
So what about the side here? I mean, I know we want to show them your tank, show them how, I mean, you have a ginormous tank in this sucker. I mean, it's huge.
All right. For all people, this is like pretty much, I heard and I know there are a lot of companies over there that they can build the setup for you. And that's great. Nothing wrong with it. But I totally did this my whole self. You know, I just did it by myself. My water tank.
How big is that tank?
This one is 250 gallons.
Whew.
I don't really fill it up because if I don't need to,
Yeah, 'cause
unless
it's
I had to
heavy.
do, yeah, it is too
yeah.
heavy for the van. It handles really well, can't
Mhm.
complain. But you know, on my daily basis, I had 3 kids, so I had to take them to school. That's the reason why I had this one on, because that way I can go drop the kids at school
And
then
go
I start
straight to
my
work.
day.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why I have my table, my step ladder. This is the
Polishers.
yeah, two right here. One more tools right here for the steamer.
You got your clay, malleable clay
There
right
you
there.
go. I have more
Little
pads for the
trash can too. I
polishers.
like that.
Yeah.
All your pads. Yep. There you go.
So these are the little things that clients pay
They notice,
attention on, and they notice it. This is
What is in there? He's like, what is in there? He's like,
you know,
yeah, to dry. That's
Yeah.
that's for a dryer. Yep.
so everything is in place. Like this is the steamer right here.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't see it, but this is the vacuum back here.
Yeah.
I had the option to have the biggest one, which is great.
Uh-huh.
But on the other setup, I have a little smaller one
Because you have a smaller van as well. Yeah.
So, like I said, the steamer,
Got your extractor.
extractor machine that comes really handy.
And
of
what,
course, this
what's your? And that one's a heated one, correct?
yes, it is, and that's really good because sometimes you need it. But I mean, having the steam,
Mhm.
and if it's not heated, then you can use the steamer as well.
Mhm.
But you know, it comes handy when you have everything on one
Oh yeah.
on one
Yep.
machine.
I mean, there's sometimes I've had cars where you're not gonna get it out without a heated extractor.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
I mean, even with a steamer and sitting there, it's
You're
not gonna happen.
not gonna happen. And,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that you learn from experience, like doing it every
Mhm.
day. Like you learn that, and then you can explain to the client, like it's gonna be clean. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my best, but it's not gonna. You're still gonna see that mark, especially on places like beige, white.
There's
We
almost
know.
nothing you can do about that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fact.
My air compressor, of course, and right behind, between the wall and the water tank, I have more chemicals like.
Like
For
your
the-
gallons.
Yes,
Yeah.
not the gallons
so you
actually. Small little things like cleaners for the carpet and everything.
Okay.
My acid cleaner back there, because things that I don't use every day. So whatever I use every day is, in
Now,
the back.
acid. What do you normally use your acid cleaner for? What is that?
When you need to get rid of some water spots here and there.
Okay.
Of course, you gotta be careful because when it is too hot,
Can
it's
damage.
not ideal to use it because you're gonna damage the paint.
Mhm.
I run into a situation that the car had the tint and it has on the glass, so you have to be very careful because you have to wet it all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if it gets hot, especially with the tint,
Yeah.
you can damage the glass, and the glass it's.
Oh yeah. Well,
one of-
you would take the coating off the glass. Technically.
you take the coating off, and
Mhm.
and if
Yeah.
you let it sit for a while, those marks they're never
gonna go
So
away.
you
It'll
have to
stain it.
replace
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
So-
that's basically what a setup for mobile detailing looks like. I mean, this is a bigger setup than most guys are doing.
Right.
Like I've seen it where guys have small little vans. I've seen guys that. I mean, I was hoping Benny would be on the show because, of course, he started out basically in using his Honda Civic to
Right.
do detailing, which was interesting. And now he's
we
onto a
always
van.
we all have our start
Yeah.
point. I
Yeah.
had a small little. Actually, I had my SUV. I remember a QS56. I had to put everything in there, and I managed to do that.
Yeah.
But that's how you start. Like I
Yep.
didn't have this from the beginning. My second vehicle was a Nissan Frontier.
Yeah. Yep. You
a
were
black
telling me.
truck.
It was like me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a
hey,
Nissan
yeah,
Frontier.
you
I
did.
started out with a black one as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And then I went to a Tacoma, and then
And
after that a Model X.
yeah, exactly right.
No, I don't do much mobile anymore,
Well,
but
After the Frontier, I jumped into this, and it's been great. I mean, so far everything is good.
wonderful.
You take care of your equipment. That's one
Mhm.
main thing.
Yep.
Like, you have to take care of your equipment. Like,
Otherwise, your
Safety-
equipment is your lifeline.
yeah, like the car. You do the oil change. Guess what? You have to do oil change on your machines.
Yep.
On pressure washer, on your generator. I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
But before now, I have a place where I can do it myself. Before I didn't have that option, but I had to take it somewhere else that they can do it for me.
Yeah.
I had to pay.
Yeah.
Because that machine, I mean, it's your investment. So
And that one's expensive. That's
It
a
is.
Honda.
Yeah, it is $1,800 at the time that I bought it.
Yeah.
So since 2018, that pressure washer since
Still goes.
2018 still goes. You
So-
had to take care of it. All right.
All right, so we'll close all that up. We'll go back in here. We'll actually talk about the day because
Yeah.
we got some exciting things going on.
Yes,
you
sir.
know. Me myself, I started basically, you know, with Perfection Technologies. I actually started doing a little bit of distribution for them. Let me get this back on because we got to have this. So basically, I spoke to the owner, Jansen, and of course, you guys saw him on last week. And I was like, look, you know, I really like you guys' film. It's what I use all the time in the shop, and something that I would like to get out to other shops, especially here in the Inland Empire, and you know, even the ideas go cross country. Because it is a very quality film, and this is something I'm not getting paid for. I'm not getting paid right now to talk about Perfection Technology.
Yeah, but the reason
it's
why
like
you're talking about it is because you use it
Yep.
and you see it,
Yep.
you feel it, and then you like it. And the
customers love it.
that's
Yeah.
the other thing.
Yeah.
Customers likes it.
Yeah.
So if the client is happy, you're happy,
Exactly.
and that means the product is really good.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, we went around today to different shops. I had some appointments that that me and Arthur went to talk to some shop owners about the film because a lot of guys are like, I don't know, I'm used to big name brands, and
yeah.
you know, why am I going to use this? I'm not too sure of it. And the one thing is, I told him, I was like, look, you know, I use it in my shop pretty much entirely. We're actually going to be using their tint, not just their PPF, as well as their vinyl. I mean, you guys can probably see right behind me, we have this Tahoe. We actually did the whole upper part of the vehicle. That's all done in 3M film. And I don't want to say anything bad. I just, personally, I'm not a vinyl guy. I'm not really into vinyl. Clients want it. Textured vinyl is something, you know, especially with the gloss black, I'm just not a big fan. However, when I did start looking at some of the vinyl that they have, because they have what is called, so you have two different types of vinyl. Okay, you have calendar and you have cast. All right, so calendar is more of your thicker, you know, it's more for like you know, signage, you know, to like phone cutouts for phone numbers, things like that. You know, it's not really meant for, it's cheap. It's just cheap film. Then you have cast, which is more expensive. It can be printed on. It's a little it's, from what I understand, a little thinner, but it looks amazing. It lasts longer. So like calendar, you can figure about 2 years, maybe cast you like 4 or 5 years. And that's if you take care of it really well. So and they have some amazing colors through Perfection.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see that.
I was amazed. I mean, I was like, and when I show a lot of these shops the quality between one and the other, they're just like, oh wow, this is nice.
They were surprised actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right here we got their
And
new.
they just got the sample.
Yeah, just a sample.
Yeah.
I mean, right here we have our Color Max paint protection film. So this is actually all the colors that they carry. I mean, they carry so many colors. It's paint protection film, but you should see the swatch books.
Yeah.
For vinyl. I mean, wow. I'm actually thinking about wrapping my own vehicle in some of their vinyl because, and there's just one in particular. It's a satin chrome blue that I want to do. It's
I didn't see that on the book. So.
You're not gonna see that in the book. It's a color that I saw over there when I was picking up film, and while I was talking to Anson the other day, and I was like, oh my god, I saw it. And they're like, oh, we only have a half roll left. I was like, oh man. So, but yeah, the Tahoe, we did that in 3M. We also did the window tint. So as you can see, 20%, 5% in the rears. I mean, the vehicle looks really nice. I mean, you can actually check out the videos on Instagram as well as I have one posted. The other one's going to be being posted tonight, so you can see, you know, the transformation of it. But yeah, today we just went around the shops, talked to owners. I actually went over to GG Window Tint over here by your guy, the one that does Ceramic Pro. IE Detail. Yeah, Detail.
Yeah.
He's literally right next door, dude. So the tint shop next door,
right,
is not his. Did you know that? I was like, what's going on here?
They partnered. I think they partnered and worked together.
They told me they don't.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, they were like, he just moved in. And
Wait.
yeah, that's what they told me. He just moved in. And I was like, okay, all right, and they were like, yeah, I mean, he's all Ceramic Pro. And I was like, well, I mean, you have the opportunity to use Perfection technology.
Oh, so you talked to him?
Yeah, I already, well, not him. I had talked to them next door because he wasn't there.
Okay, yeah.
So I wanted to stop in there, but he just wasn't there. So I stopped in next door because I thought it was the same place.
It was
so weird, not the same place.
Yeah.
So I got talking to them, got in the film. They were actually pretty shocked at the price. They were like, okay, I mean, this is a really good. You see these guys, they like take this film out and they stretch it, and they see the stretch point. They do all of this, and they're looking at it, like trying to see, the clarity, and then they put it on the car, and they're like, man,
when they put it on, they'd be more amazed. Yeah.
Nah, so I mean, and we just had them testing out the Essential Gloss, which is like the most baseline product that they offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I had them test the matte. I mean, the matte is, amazing. We just did a BMW M3 in full body matte. And it was a matte paint job. So when you have a matte paint job, you always have to do a matte clear. You can't do a gloss clear because it's going to turn the whole matte paint job into a gloss. It's kind of weird. I was always like, wouldn't they just make it like matte? But no, you have to use a matte colored PPF or a matte clear PPF for a matte paint job. That's actually why they came out with matte clear PPF. It's primarily for those Mercedes that come in a matte. The bad downside to a matte paint job, and anybody who has a car that's a matte paint job, once you scratch it, that's it. Can't fix it. That's it.
Yeah.
Have you done some details on some matte paint jobs or what?
I did, and you have to be careful.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful. All the time you have to be careful, but with those specific vehicles, it's a little bit harder and more stress to work with, because you're thinking like, you got to pay more attention. You have to make sure that
really do the pre-soak really well, right? Because you'll scratch it.
One little thing is gonna scratch, and it's gonna attach to your mats and everything. So you have to be extremely careful.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, paint protection film, do it. You're not gonna regret it. I mean, I had a lady once who came in. She had I believe it was one of those Kia. Oh gosh, the Kia. I don't know which one it was. It was a Kia though, and they had that matte paint. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do. She's like, you can't just buff it out. I was like, no, you buff out a matte paint job, you're gonna gloss it out.
Yeah, right. No, it's gonna create more damage.
Yeah, and people pay more for those paint jobs.
I know.
Pay extreme. Couldn't believe it.
Everything is custom, and then you have to wait for, I don't know, weeks.
Maybe even longer. I don't even know how the dealerships deal with it if it has to get fixed. I don't know. I've never dealt with it. I'm not a paint guy.
Yeah.
Well, I am a paint guy, but I'm not a paint guy.
They replace the parts.
Yeah, probably just whole thing. Maybe I don't know.
I had a client that he had that issue. His brand new X7 BMW matte finish, and he went to the supermarket. He parked far. Somebody still hit his car in the back, so they hit the bumper, and I believe the trunk, and they had to replace the whole thing. Yeah, they didn't even bother on fixing it or anything. No.
Yeah, they just
that cost a fortune. But he had to leave the car on the shop for
weeks,
maybe like 7 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe more.
7 weeks. Woo!
Yeah. Because they had a brand new vehicle, they had to order the part. They didn't have it there.
Yeah.
And by law, once they start getting or they get something or a part out of the vehicle, it had to stay there. Yeah. You cannot just walk away and just take it. You can't.
Well, he probably had extra vehicles.
He did. But
I mean, I tell people with Kias, I don't know how many people with Kias have another car to use. Right. I mean, unless you're using your insurance, and then there's a limit to how many rental days you have usually on your policy. So. I mean, it can be a nightmare. That's why I say paint protection film. That's the best way to go. It's worth the money.
Yeah, especially tell us about the experience with the client that she had wearing it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So a client, and I won't give names because, of course, not proper. But she great. She actually is one that gave us a 5-star review. Like, I mean, and when people write about my shop, it's always paragraphs.
That's
I mean, like literally,
good.
she got like, I mean, like that much. And she literally had us do full body PPF in Perfection Technology PPF, the Essential Gloss. And she ended up getting rear-ended by a Chevy truck. Not even what? So we did that in. I think we did that in November. No, in October,
Hmm.
late in October. She got rear-ended right after the New Year, literally, by a Chevy truck on the freeway. Just boom! And I had her come back before she had it repaired. And we just peeled up the film. There was no damage under the paint. Literally, no damage. It was just dented. I mean, that was it. And actually, I just found out today she's getting it repaired. And then after that, I got to actually submit a quote for her to give to her insurance company because thing is, PPF is covered by your insurance for replacement. Same thing with vinyl. There are other things, I think even window tint. So she is actually going to be bringing it back in to actually have all of that PPF put back on. And it's kind of weird because Tesla actually ended up replacing the whole rear tailgate, the rear bumper, I believe even one of the rear quarter panels. I mean, my wife got rear-ended in a Model 3, and they ended up totaling it.
Yeah, that's weird.
That I don't know. I don't understand it. But yeah, so they. But yeah, she was very shocked, and that's why she's like, "Hey, I'm come back in. I got to put it back on," and she was happy. I mean, the insurance company's probably not happy, but
Of course, but at the same time, that you can talk about the quality of the film.
yeah, it is.
Because of
It's
that
quality.
experience.
I mean, that's what I tell guys with shops or anybody on the market for PPF is. I mean, I myself, I've used other brands. I've used Steck, I've used SVG, I've used Pure, I've used Legend. And in my opinion, I personally, Perfection makes a very quality film. One that clarity, conformability. I mean, overall tack. I mean, it's amazing. And they literally. I don't think I'll ever go with another film at this point, especially for my shop. And I'm like one. I think I'm the only one in the IE that's carrying their film currently, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, my experience, it's wonderful. I can't complain. I mean, you got a lot of other companies that are offering films at like extreme prices, and even right now, like okay, so I know this. There's a lot of guys in the industry that are complaining because costs of films are going up.
Yeah.
They're going up. I mean,
Everything's
tariffs
going up,
are kind of putting in that scare. I don't know if that's actually what is happening because I think it's more on the lines of, and I don't want to say this about anybody in particular, but I think that when it comes down to it, it's more about greed. They see the impending possibility of it costing them more to import because a lot of these films are imported from out of country. And the way I look at it is they're kind of just like, okay, well, let's raise the price now. So in the end, we save ourselves, from having to take on that burden of that price increase, which, I mean, you're a business. You have to do something. However, when it comes down to it, as a shop, the biggest expenditures are film costs and installer. I mean, that's it. I mean, and if you're taking on all that, unless you're the only guy in the shop doing it, I mean, then it's kind of, you're not I hate to say it, but you're not really a business per se. You're a business, but you're self-employed.
Yeah.
And then being a business is more of having, guys come in, do the work. Look, I like to do work. I don't like to sit around. I literally like doing the job. But for me, it's like, okay, well, if I do a full body, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do my thing. And that's going to take like 4 days.
Yeah.
I have installers who can come in and do full body PPF in like literally 2 days. So, I mean, and as a business, you have to make money and you have to get cars in, get them out, get them done. Clients definitely don't want the downtime for 4 days. But I like to do the work myself, but unfortunately, as a business, you got to delegate a little bit here and there. I mean, that's like what you're doing right now, right?
Yeah. That's what we had to do. I mean,
like for you got another van, right? And you have guys that are going out now and doing that.
Yeah. And sometimes it's really hard because you are used to do the job and you want to make sure everything is done the right way.
Yeah.
But you say, right, you have to delegate to other people to do it because otherwise there is no, we just get to the point that this is it, that's it.
There's no more growth.
No more growth. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's hard because sometimes you don't want to deal with, a client is calling you, this is not done properly. You have to go and fix it.
Mhm.
For me, is like that. Once a client called me, and even though it happens to me,
Mhm.
I had to go and redo whatever I was missing.
Yeah, it wasn't done properly. Yeah.
Because it's not about the money.
Yeah.
It's about the client to be happy with the service.
Of course.
In that
Yeah.
client, I had my own experience.
Mhm.
I still had those clients since I started. Because in the beginning, I was, of course, you made mistakes in the beginning and everything, and you leave things behind, and they call you. And once they call me, like, you know what? I'm going back. At that time, if I can't do it at that time, I go back. If not, next day, I make the time to go and fix
Yeah.
whatever I need to do. And the clients are so happy, and that's when you get the loyal clientele.
Yeah, that's when they keep coming back. That's when they are like, okay,
Yeah.
like this is because a lot of times, a lot of shops, a lot of mobile guys will just be like, it's not. I'm all about the money. I need to make the money, and if I do this, I'm losing time, losing money, and so they end up, a lot of times, like I had this lady right here. She was like looking at my reviews, and she's like, I like the way you responded to this one review because I as every business, you do have a bad review from time to time.
Mhm.
And I was like, look, I'm very real with clients. Like for me, I'm always willing to go the extra mile for my
Yeah.
clients. Sometimes, like the other day, I put a spray on ceramic, because they came in they had paint all over the car. I removed all the paint, and then I did a spray on ceramic for them just for free because I was like, hey, I've already compounded on the vehicle. I don't want to leave it unprotected. I'm going to do it.
Just one little extra step, extra mile. That's it.
Yeah, and the clients really like that. And that's just like with what you're saying. If you're willing to come out and rectify anything that's wrong,
Mhm.
clients are always going to come back because they're going to be like, okay,
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy's going to take care of me. He cares about my vehicle, cares about me as a person, as a client. He's going to do it. He's not getting paid extra to do it, but he's going to do it. Especially when it's the owner. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I talk to clients all day. People, I don't delegate that to somebody else. I do it. You know.
Mhm.
But so at this point, like you said, you have other guys out now doing it. So like, what's your like? Because I know in the first episode we talked about you growing your business,
Yeah.
but now you're actually in that process of now you have other people,
Yeah.
and you're sending them out. And how's that going for you?
Well, right now, let's say I have two people that are going on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, they're going to my regular client, which is weekly. They go every week there. They doing great
Okay.
because they're responsible, which is number one thing.
Yep.
Second, of course, they do the job the right way, and they work only on weekends, like
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Not during the week
And,
because
yeah.
kind of slow usually during the week, especially right now.
Well, honestly,
Yeah.
I've just been busy. I told you, I have a lot of work that I need to do.
Consistent clientele, yeah.
I have consistent clientele, and even though I had to move some clients for Monday,
Mhm.
but that's where all the team comes. Like I have somebody else, another team that I'm training. They're gonna be working from pretty much the whole week.
Mhm.
But right now, that's what I'm working on. I want to make sure they do things right.
Yeah.
Because as you see this van, they're using the little van right now. The little van right now. It's everything exactly the same thing.
Yep.
Everything is organized in place so they know where things are and make the job go quicker. But that's what I'm training these people right now, trying to get them get to know a little more about this. They did it before, but not at this level.
Mhm.
So they did it in a different way. So let's say they're starting from scratch. And I'm willing to teach them as long as they do a good job.
You're happy. I mean,
Yeah, and
bringing the van back in the way it went out in the morning is something. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but they actually, we did few days already. They're good. They like it. We have in our conversation like how much they're gonna make and everything. All those little details. But most important, like I told them, you need to take care of the band, you need to take care of the equipment. Anything goes wrong, let me know right away.
Yeah.
Because I know I clean the towels and everything. I have mostly everything ready for them. They just have to come,
Yeah, come, go.
fill
and
up
that's it.
the whatever is need
Mhm.
in terms
Chemicals,
of chemicals, and then the gas on the machines, and that's it.
Yeah, and they go.
They come, they go, they do their job. They like to work together, so
Yeah. Well, there's
we,
no
we're going
conflict.
into it. So they've been working like a couple of days. So summer is coming. So hopefully
gonna get busy.
by summer they should be good to go by themselves and everything. As you know, my wife helps me, so
Yep.
she goes sometimes. She check on them as well, just to make sure the quality of the job is done the right way.
Yeah.
That's the most important, because if the client is happy, everything goes smooth.
Yep. That's how it pretty much is.
That's everything goes.
Everything. Well, I guess we're getting to the end of the episode. It's too bad that Benny couldn't be here. I don't know what happened, Benny. But anyways, next week we are going to be having Matisse from Matisse Window Films. He is a global supplier on the show. It's going to be interesting. Just like last week was pretty interesting. I wish you could have been here because it would have been great. However, this is the end of episode 4 of Behind the Buffer. I'm glad to see, like if you guys watch the show, if you got any comments, anything like that, let us know.
Yep.
We're always happy to answer some questions if you have it. But anyways, shout out to Perfection Technology again. Thanks, Jensen. Absolutely love the fact that, you've trusted me with your brand. And at the same time, I appreciate you, your film, everything. And I will be letting us go off air. Have a good day. Good night, guys.
Thank you.
And that's it. All right.